Welcome to Heavy Metal Monday. Hey, it's Coach Mike Capriglione coming to you live here from Varsity House Gym. Welcome back to another edition of Heavy Metal Monday. I hope you enjoyed my last week's edition of the 3 overhead press variations and my song by the band Slipknot. If you guys have any questions or comments about that last video, please contact me. Today we're going to move on and we're going to start a new exercise and have a new song for you. Today I got a special guest appearance, all right, from Joe Marciano. Okay, Joe came to me about 3 years ago asking me for getting himself back in shape and what we can do, and 3 years later he's here now on my 3rd edition of Heavy Metal Monday. He has far exceeded any expectations that I have set out for him. He's done a terrific job. He's one of the hardest working guys we got in the gym, and there's so many accolades I could say about Joe. He has probably some of the best sayings that have ever been created inside this gym, and if you know Joe, you definitely know those sayings. He owns his own business, Power Pro Wash and Company, and with his nickname Joe Power Pro. He goes by many nicknames, so he's awesome. I'm glad he's coming out here to help me today. And he also, another great thing too that he also did, I wanted to mention, was that every year we put on a strongman competition, and for years he was giving us equipment to help for that competition. And then fast forward about, for 6 years he was doing that for us, and then fast forward after 3 years of training with me, he wound up and actually competed in the competition for the first time this summer, and I was really proud of him, and it was awesome. So today he's going to help me out with the exercise we're going to do today. It's called the football bar bench. Okay, and then I'm going to give you a tutorial on how to do it. Joe's going to help me perform some of the reps, and I'll give you, as he's doing it, I'll give you some cues, and then at the end of the football bench I'll give you why we do it and when the best time is to use it. So let's do it. Okay, let's get started today with the football bar bench. First thing you want to do is take a seat on the bench towards the edge of it. He's going to fall back. Fall back from you, Joe. Okay. He's going to take his grip, okay, on the 2 outside handles. Okay. He's got a strong grip. His feet are back. His knees and hips are out. His abs are nice and tight, and his hips are flexed, and his feet are pushing hard into the ground. Okay. He's got a strong grip on the bar. As he takes the bar out of the rack, take it out for me, Joe. He takes it out and stabilizes it for about a second. As he's stabilizing the bar, he's flexing his upper back, his triceps, and his shoulders so that the bar is stabilized. As he brings the bar down, he's flexing his upper back into the bench. So bring the bar down for me, rest it there. As he's resting it on his chest, you want to remember that the bar needs to be flush to the body. You don't want it angled back or angled upwards. You want it flush, okay? So that will make the lift a lot easier for you. Up. As he performs another rep, he's going to breathe back in, reflex his shoulder blades back into the bench, come down, keep it flush again, and repeat. Give me 3 more reps, Joe. 3, 4, 5. Good. Straight arms, back in the rack. Thank you. Okay. The key thing to remember when using this bar is to make sure that the bar doesn't move on you, okay? Not like a regular bar. When you take it out of the rack, the bar's stiff. This bar has a tendency to move on you a little bit. So you really want to make sure that you're really locking in those shoulder blades, okay, so that the bar doesn't move and everything is stabilized and nice and tight. Take it out of the rack, stabilize it for a second, then begin your rep. Okay, so why would you use the football bar? The reason why you would use the football bar is so that it takes less stress off your shoulders. You don't externally rotate like some people do on a regular bench when you start to struggle on the bar. This bar really keeps your elbows locked in tight. So we like to use this a lot in the gym when I work with my baseball players. It's a great way for them to get a full compound exercise, but without really having to worry about externally rotating and putting pressure on their shoulder. So it's a much of a safer exercise for baseball players. Plus, it's a great exercise for our football players in season. Once again, it takes the stress off the shoulders for them and keeps those elbows locked in nice and tight. Most football players are hitting and tackling and hitting everyone, blocking everything from the inside, never really out here like that. So you want to make sure you really get a good idea of keeping those elbows in nice and tight, and this bar really provides that. So if you work with athletes, you're a coach, and you train a number of junior athletes to college players, and you don't have this bar in your gym, I definitely would, because it's a very important bar to have. It's a great way to change up in your program, use a lot of different variations, and just to do some really cool stuff. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that exercise for today. Now it's going to be on to my heavy metal song of the week. Okay, so first off, before I give you my heavy metal song of the week, I just want to thank Joe for coming in, helping me out. Okay, now listen, Joe is no doubt a heavy metal fan. Okay, I've seen the pictures. Okay, so he's been listening to heavy metal since what? Mid-80s?
Mid-80s.
Mid-80s, all right, so he's a Metallica fan all the way, thick and thin, all the way through. So I didn't want to do Metallica today because that was my first edition. So I wanted to do something cool today, and being that Joe was coming on, I knew that this was a band that he really enjoyed, okay? And this band is no longer together, okay, but a lot of the members of the band are still involved in a lot of other projects, and that band is Pantera, okay? So if you guys don't know who Pantera is, and you claim to like heavy metal, well then you probably don't like heavy metal, because Pantera is one of the most greatest heavy metal bands of all time. And the song of the week for today from Pantera is Cowboys from Hell. Okay, that is one of the best songs Pantera has ever done. I know that's Joe's personal favorite when we're lifting, so make sure you go check that out. Now, a couple things about Pantera. Tragically, a few years ago, they lost their head guitar player. It was a tragic accident that happened on stage, and I won't get too far into that, but they lost one of the best guitar players, not only in heavy metal, but a great trendsetter when it came to guitar playing. And Vinnie Paul has also moved on, the drummer. He's one of my favorite drummers of all time. He moved on now to a band called Hell Yeah, and I wound up going to see them I think it was a couple months ago when they opened up for Godsmack. So it was pretty cool just to get to see somebody who's still around playing from Pantera, and enjoyed it a lot. So that's it. That's my heavy metal song of the week, Pantera, Cowboys from Hell. Do yourself a favor and go check that out. If you like what you saw today, hit the like button on the bottom. Leave me a comment either about the song or the exercise that you saw today, and I'll be sure to get back to you. Make sure you check me out back next week. Until then, stay heavy.